Rich from True Boys at EDC and Prepping. What is up?
We are your normal Sunday afternoon crowd, hanging out with you guys and telling you useless information and some fun stuff while we're at it.
Seriously. Yep.
So, while we're waiting for people to join up, what you got in your pockets? What are you carrying on this lazy Sunday?
I got the MKM it's not the Malga. This is the MKM Azonzo by Vox and Canvas micarta, green canvas micarta. Can't see because the light sucks. But I was sent to
That's
me by my
awesome.
buddy Dennis at EDC for fun. So I have that as my EDC knife. I'm still carrying the Y Ship Matrix little wallet thing. It's sick. I might get the other one. The other one's X Ply. I'm not sure it's X Pack or if it's just some ghetto X Pack, but I'm gonna get it. It's like $12. I think I'm gonna get it because this one's solid. Then I got I have a Maglite. This is a Maglite MagTac. I did a video on it the other day. Super simple. I like this flashlight because it's literally 3 modes. It's what do you call it? It's momentary on, 1, 2 is on high, and then 1, 2, 3 is on low. And it's so easy that I literally handed it to my daughter, and she was just like, boom. I didn't even tell her how to use it. I mean, she's 14. She's not an idiot. But, like, still, I mean, a lot of people have a hard time with flashlights because they're like, oh, how does it work? She was literally
Yeah,
like, boom, turned it on, no problem. So I have a Palmer's lip thing, bomb, whatever.
nice.
I have a file, that file that I bought. And let's see what else I got. I got the climber on my belt. Actually, you know what? I'll take this whole thing off and show it to you. So it's on my belt, but it's in this. So it's in this
That's
Victorinox
awesome.
container. So it's the Swiss Army climber. I got that, and then I have hot sauce. This is pepper spray, and then I have my
Do you
adventure.
call your pepper spray hot sauce?
I do,
That's awesome.
and then I have the Very Good Knife Company Adventure, and that is all.
So
Yeah,
you
that's
are
all.
fully loaded out even on a Sunday.
Yeah, I left. I came back though. I have
Okay.
to take my kids home and all that stuff, so I just like it's whatever. And I
I'm
can't carry a bunch of stuff at work, so I try to like carry as much as possible, like on my days off and
on the
stuff.
weekend.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Load up. So I got a brand new Super Tinker. Just got that today from the husband. He said it was a gift for some time, but he forgot to give it to me, so I got it today. I got some earbuds. I'm rocking the O knife. Um, it begins with an S. I have no idea what the name is. I think it begins with an S. But it's pretty cool.
Cool.
My Carta handles. And I think that's about it for EDC stuff. Got a little bit of cash. Have my oh, I do have a pen. Got a everyman pen.
Oh, yeah.
Love those. Freaking awesome. And I think that's about it. Kind of running light today. Oh, it was at church earlier, so I didn't have much on me while I was at church, and because girl pockets they suck, and didn't add a whole lot when I got home and changed. All right, so today we are doing a super cool, super special Q&A with RNA. We're actually Q&Aing. We're Q&Aing Rich. What are your expertise?
Froze up, kid.
So why are we wh- how are you qualified for this? What you got? Because you have a
Uh,
huge background in all this.
um, I have a whole bunch of So let's see. I was in the fire department, so I'm retired though. So, or for now, I don't know if I'm going back. I'm probably not. So I was EMS, fire rescue, first responder, certified first. So in Massachusetts, a first responder is just somebody who shows up to accidents and fires. That's it. Actually, in New York too. So people in the fire departments and volunteer fire departments in New York don't go to medical calls. They call an ambulance. They only go for CPR and stuff like that. So in Mass, you have to be a certified first responder, so you're trained above the level. You have to be trained in advanced first aid and all that stuff. So I am still, but I'm a certified first responder, emergency first responder, CPR, AED for healthcare provider, nursing assistant. Um, I'm a registered stop the bleed instructor. I'm a certified first aid instructor for basic, advanced, and wilderness. I have like 40 different certificates because I worked in nursing. at a camp infirmary. So as soon as I got into that pediatric stuff, I started taking classes because I'm still affiliated with the Massachusetts Fire Academy because I'm a CERT coordinator, which is Community Emergency Response Team. So I'm in the CERT community. So that's FEMA. Um, South Dakota Department of Defense. So Homeland Security, Department of Defense. And yeah, so when I did that, I started taking all these classes that they gave us for fire rescue, and it was like pediatric cardiac, pediatric spinal injuries, pediatric seizures. And then I work at school in medical for kids with special education, kids with like really life-threatening illnesses. Stuff could happen to them, like seizures. So every year we have to take seizure classes. We have to take epi. I have Narcan though, but we don't have to take Narcan at school. But you have to take the EpiPen thing. So that's yearly. In Mass, you have to get CPR certified and all that stuff every 2 years. Nursing assistants every 2 years. I also work for a company that does EMS for extreme sports, Spartan death races.
Oh,
So
wow.
we do the medical for them whenever the races are. You don't have to go to all; you just go to the ones you want. Like you know what I mean. So I do that. I'm taking my EMT in September, so I'll be an emergency medical technician just because I need a trauma fix. I was going like nursing for RN, and then I was like, "Yeah, you guys really don't have a lot of excitement, do you?" And they're like, "Nah." I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm going to go back into like EMS, like you know what I mean. So I'm kind of going back to do that. So yeah, and then I don't know what else. That's it, I think.
So super qualified in
Yeah.
the And so today, what we're talking about, and you guys ask your questions, kind of like myths in first aid, things that we hear, things that we've always wondered, is it true? Is it not true? Rich is going to help us on to the best of his ability. And then kind of some basic first aid info as far as like, you know, I don't know. I kind of made a list here of things I wanted to run through and
There you
pick
go.
your brain. If
Yeah.
you have anything you want to throw in as we're going, and you guys definitely ask your questions. So today I'll try to keep us on a little more track than normal. Normally we're a little sporadic and go off on rabbit trails. Today I'll kind of try to keep us focused and funnel in your questions as you post them. But so this got started in last week's episode of our show. We talked about the old tampon in a bullet hole. And would you like to to tell us why that might not be the best idea? Yes.
Yeah, but if you think about it, normal size caliber rounds are smaller than a tampon, right? So the entry hole will be smaller than the tampon. So you would first of all have to do more damage to jam a tampon in there. And second of all, when a
Oh, we. I think we're frozen up, Rich. Hopefully, we can get him back, unless I'm the one who's frozen. That would be weird. You there, Rich? All right. Well, so he will be back momentarily. I'll let him back in the chat. But from what I know, not the medical person, but for using a tampon in a bullet hole, the problem with that is that tampon is meant for, yeah. And he's back.
I,
Excellent.
I don't know what happened because I could still hear you and everything. It's weird.
So I think we're good now. I think you're back in and ready to go. So, oh, somebody's in our backyard. I don't know if y'all can see that. There's a truck in my backyard.
That's fun stuff. Yeah, but anyway, with when a projectile goes into you, it tumbles, right? It falls, it tumbles, it goes into you. It causes a larger hole inside of you. It's called cavitation. So if you stick a tampon, if you could even fit it in the entry wound, you would cause more damage. First of all, and second of all you would do would be stop the blood from leaking out because there's probably a bigger wound inside that's bleeding still internally. But that blood is not going to be in circulation. So all you're doing is hiding the actual blood flow. Like you're not really doing anything. You know what I mean?
Well,
Um,
and a tampon is meant for absorption, not
right,
stopping.
right.
So
I
it's
mean, it's
it's
not
literally
hemostatic.
just going to
Like,
hold blood for a while, and it's
yeah,
not
and
as sterile as you would want.
well, it's not going to fit anyway. Like, it's not going to go into that wound. Like, normally when you pack a wound, you would use your finger. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole. You can get your finger in there. Tampon's bigger, like you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it's not gonna. You're gonna have to jam it in and hurt it even worse. So it doesn't make sense. I don't know how that stopped. Probably because it's made out of like cotton fiber and stuff like that. And also, I
Yeah.
was told I actually spoke to a nurse about that, and they actually said it would make a more of a problem to get all the particles out of inside because it's not meant for that. So it'd be inside you. You'd have all of these little pieces of tampon and stuff that fell apart in there. So it'd make it. We're probably getting an infection now. You got sepsis. Whatever. You're dead.
So yeah. So guys, don't carry a tampon and say you're good for your
No,
stop the
you
bleed
can
kit.
buy
Not a
like
chance.
compressed gauze online for like it's like $3. Like it's not even hemostatic gauze, just straight compressed gauze from like North American Rescue. If you go to Rescue Essentials and you're a first responder, you get a discount. If you go to Rescue Essentials and you have to be on GovX, I think, or if you're military or whatever, you get like a 10% discount on all of that stuff. So they got all kinds of North American Rescue stuff, and it's just literally gauze that's like this, like it's in a square. It's compressed gauze, and there's 12 feet of gauze in here. You could jam 12 feet of gauze into somebody. It's going to fill a cavitation wound. So if you got a bigger wound behind a smaller wound, this is going to fill that space.
Yep.
That's
All
why
right.
that's why
So
it's 12 feet.
so in place of a tampon, carry some Z fold gauze, and you're ready to rock and
Yeah.
roll.
Or even like EMS gauze. This isn't Z fold. This is only 4 feet of gauze. This is just rolled gauze. But I mean, if you don't got nothing else, whatever, you can use that too. But
If
this is hemostatic. This is quick clot. These both have kaolin, which is clay, and it just helps, stop blood from bleeding.
and it's not going to expire.
Well, clay doesn't expire.
Or
They,
yeah.
they put the expiration dates on. I said in the past that I saw this article from the United States government and the Army, and then Harvard University. And the Army has all this medicine that's super old, and they wanted to test it to see where it was at. And when they tested the medicine past the expiration date, sometimes decades past the expiration, it lost hardly any kind of strength. It was still good. So that's an FDA thing. So they're more worried about just sterility than they are about the actual, strength of it. It's decades past, it'll work. It's fine. And clay doesn't expire. So, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what they're worried about is like, oh, if it's sterile or not. Like, who cares if you're bleeding to death? Like, whatever. But
So
if you have a job in EMS or in a hospital and you use something that's got an expiration date on it and it doesn't work, then they're going to yell at you. So take rubbing alcohol and wipe off the expiration date. It comes off.
then nobody knows.
Nobody knows, and it's still good.
So one of my favorite things to use in my first aid kit, and not being in the medical field, I just know what I've done my research on and just, kind of common sense and
I
general
think you're
knowledge
frozen.
I have.
You're freezing.
Oh, am I back? Hopefully we're good.
Uh,
Um, oh, but honey, is he? I'm not sure if it's me or him because oh,
I think you know what when you freeze, like I can't see you. You like freeze up, but I can still move. I think it's
okay.
you. I'm literally sitting right next to my router, like literally.
So, honey has, in my knowledge, or to my knowledge, some good properties for being like a first aid ointment. What's your take on honey?
I think like honey is good topically because it's
Yep.
antibacterial. I mean, I wouldn't leave it on for a long time because it's sticky and there's sugars and stuff in it, and it could like go rancid because it's food. Like
Yep.
anything that's food based, like take the knives for example. Like they tell you not to really oil your knives with vegetable oil because it can go rancid. Like you know what I mean after a long period of time. So I mean, if you got to use it for a short period of time, whatever. Um, but you could always just buy Bacitracin. Like seriously. Like
Yeah.
hold on, I gotta let my dog out.
All right. So guys, if you have any questions or myths you wanna get information on, or first aid stuff you got questions on, go ahead and type those in. We will get to those. One of the things you almost always see on these channels when they're building a kit is sutures. So here's my question. You don't know what in the heck you're doing, like the average Joe who doesn't have. I have basic first aid training, I have CPR training, and then I haven't completed yet, but I've done some stop the bleed stuff. Why in the world would I even think of grabbing sutures and using them without the knowledge and know-how?
Right. So the funny thing is, I think that people feel like in order to stop something from bleeding, they have to sew it closed, and you don't. Like, you know what I mean? Um, I have a suture kit. I honestly do. But if I always say that if I just got it, like say it's shit hit the fan and there's nobody ever gonna come, then whatever. I mean, then you gotta do what you gotta do. But like now, it's not like that. You call the EMS, 15 minutes, they'll be there. Stop the bleeding for 15 minutes, and they'll get there. I think that people think that um, first of all, it's probably just people put it out there. It's YouTube. Like one person says it, everybody follows it. You know what I mean? So everybody's got to get a suture kit. Nobody knows how to use a suture kit. If anything, you could buy zip stitch because you put the zip stitch
Yes.
on, you pull it close. So you could do that. You could use butterflies, but you could just use like a compression bandage. Seriously, like I brought some stuff out. I have this one. This is a North American Rescue mini compression bandage. It's like a 4-inch one. It costs like $9, right? If it's that bad, it tells you exactly what it's for. It's a mini responder, and it's for like you know it says sterility guaranteed. So this North American Rescue is one that says it's sterile as long as it's closed. So this is a good one to get.
Nice.
You don't have to worry about a stupid date. But this is for like I don't know mid-sized ones. You know what I'm saying? Small to mid-sized ones. It's not like your arms hanging off. But I don't really know. I just think literally that's the way the internet is. People think it's the end of the world and there's going to be nobody around. That's what the situation is. It's like zombie apocalypse. Like, you know what I mean? No doctors. Like, nobody's around. We got to sew them close. I actually read an article on that a while ago, and it says that it could probably cause more damage because if you sew somebody up and it starts to heal when they get to the doctors, the hospital, they're going to have to cut that back open.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So don't do that. I
No.
literally, my son cut himself with a knife, and I tied it up with gauze, right? So I basically stopped it from bleeding. But in a little bit of time, because what I did was I put a gauze pad and I wrapped it. I put a gauze pad and I wrapped it. I put a gauze pad and I wrapped it. And you tie it off over the wound and it makes mechanical pressure on it. By the time you got down the street, because I live on the same street as the hospital is literally 5 minutes from my house. It stopped bleeding and started to heal to the gauze because I only had woven gauze. So if you sew somebody closed, it's going to heal even faster, and they're going to have to cut that back open.
Dang.
Terrible. That sucks.
Yeah. Don't use sutures. Don't use sutures if you don't know what you're doing. So, I think we're frozen again. This is terrible. So definitely get those questions in, guys and gals. I'm actually at this point, I'm not even sure if you guys are talking to me, if my stuff's not working. There we go, Rich.
Oh, there I am. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So help us. So where do we start? So everybody, like EDC videos, EDC bags, EDC gear, sometimes even on person, people are showing IFAKs or even, I mean, not, let's start with Boo Boo Kit. It's like a
Yeah.
small little Boo Boo Kit. Maya, how's
Hey,
it
Maya.
going? A small little Boo Boo Kit that you can keep on you. I use like these small, like 4x4, 5x4 Ziploc bags for them. What would be some good items to keep in small kits on ourselves? Uh oh.
And I'm a Band-Aid snob, so I don't stick. So, and then if you need them, I mean, I have gloves, like, right? I mean, if you're doing your family members, you don't need gloves, right? So then I have a small pair of scissors. These are collapsible travel scissors, so those are cool.
Yeah.
Unless you have larger scissors, which I also do. So I have those. Then I have a bunch of medications like Advil, ibuprofen, and stuff like that in a plastic bag. I have a dude wipe in here. I have a small trauma pad just in case it's bleeding more than and I can stop it with a band-aid. So it's just a little tiny trauma pad. And I have some gauze pads. They're smaller ones. These are what, 2x2s in there. And I have Dermabond in here. Like I need to use Dermabond. Nurse at school keeps telling me I can't use Dermabond. But Dermabond's glue. It's just skin glue. Right. And then, like I said, dude wipes. I don't use alcohol wipes because they burn, but I do
They
have
burn.
some.
Yeah.
I have some, and I'm working with kids, so I can't It's not cool. And then I believe somewhere in here I have antiseptic wipes. I think I do. So anyway, I have antiseptic wipes in here somewhere and sting relief pads. So,
I love sting relief pads.
but there's a, I mean, that's like, you could get, I think I have burn cream. There's burn ointment. There's burn gel you can put in. There's burn spray. It's not going to fit in this though, but like, there's literally in my jump bag, there's a spray, and it's burn spray, and I've used it on a kid that, like, when we were in camp, these people come over from different countries. They're like foreign exchange students, and one of the girls from like UK, and that kid got burned horribly bad. It was like she was blistered, and we were using, like, just anything. It's like, so the burn spray has a topical antiseptic, and yeah, we were using that. So yeah, so get the burn cream. It's just, you can get the little packets if you go on Rescue Essentials. And again, I don't work for Rescue Essentials either. Like, they have like a first aid kit refill, and in the refills they have one with just ointments. So you'll get like, itch cream, you'll get like burn cream, you'll get like antibiotic cream, you'll get triple antibiotic cream. You get all of it. It's like $8.
That's awesome. That's a nice kit.
Yeah.
Hey guys, my little boys are watching. Hi buddies. Hi.
Hey.
Um, so basically, to kind of wrap it up, or if you're taking notes and you want some info, so you're saying uh some sort of small bandages, maybe some gauze or something a little larger in case you have room for it and
Yeah.
you might need it. Some things to clean with, not necessarily alcohol wipes, although you can.
Right.
Um, some things to help anti or something antibacterial, something to put some ointment on. You and I both are big fans of sting relief of some sort,
Yeah.
uh, and other creams, whatever's applicable to the person. And then some medicines, again, whatever's applicable to the person. Uh, so of your kit, the only thing that you cannot fly with would be what? The
Uh,
scissors?
Probably the scissors, yeah, because they are pointy. Unless you put them in your carry-on bag. I mean, under, you know what I mean. So that depends. But I could pretty much, and the meds. You got to watch out for what you have for medicine. It all has to be labeled like crazy.
All right.
Um, so yeah,
So what would you increase for an IFAC? So boo boo kit, something small, something you have on yourself. What would be your go-to for an IFAC? What would you be upgrading?
um, so I know it's a good one to watch for IFAX is Skinny Medic. I haven't watched Skinny Medic in a long time,
Yes.
but if you go back and watch his older stuff, he's got cool stuff. So he's got like this one where he's like stuff that you should have. I don't really have like an IFAC. What's up, Dennis? Dennis.
Dennis.
I carry like a trauma kit because my IFAC individual, it's not really just for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
feel like, it's for whoever. We're not like in a combat situation. I don't need my own IFAC. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
I know you should have a tourniquet. Like, if this is like what you need it for, and like, depends on what you're doing. So you carry a tourniquet, you carry like hemostatic gauze for packing wounds. I carry a compression bandage, like an Israeli bandage or a Z-fold gauze or some other kind of compression. You can carry a SWAT T. SWAT T's suck horribly as tourniquets, but they're good for compression. So you could definitely use that. You should carry trauma shears. Um, so it's mostly bleeding because most of the stuff that happens is traumatic. So for an
Yep.
IFAC, you're gonna have all bleeding stuff. So it's gonna be all the gauze, all the hemostatic gauze, compression bandages, tourniquets, all that stuff. You carry compression straps, like whatever. So that's usually what I would do. Like um my first aid kit has a larger H bandage, H fold, H and H. Now another
Yep.
company bought H and H, so I don't know if they're gonna keep making those, but it's just one for severe trauma. And then carry a smaller one, like one that's not for severe trauma, like that NAR I had. And you can get Israeli bandages with the cleats that are 4 inches and 6 inches, so there's bigger and smaller. It just depends on what you want to put in it. I mean, the fact that it's an IFAC means it's individual, so you pretty much make it yourself for you. That's why I always
Yep.
tell people never to buy like a pre-made kit because a lot of the stuff they put in that kit is like no-name crap stuff that I never even heard of the companies. And you could get like Pierces, that's like Israeli bandages. A company in the United States bought them out, but they still make them in Israel, and they have a 30-year. They irradiate them, and they vacuum seal them. And there's another bag inside. There's no way that's ever not going to be sterile. Like, you know what I
That's
mean?
awesome.
Seriously.
That's
So,
awesome.
and you can get those tourniquet and or H bandage. Yeah, H bandage. I got one in
Yeah.
my the back of my truck. I have that kit in there. So I have like a trauma kit in the back of my truck, and then like a stop the bleed kit that's hanging from my headrest with a bunch of band-aids too. So if I need band-aids, those are in there too because that's bleeding.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of different tourniquets you can get. I have, what do I got? I got this is I vacuum seal everything. Not that it's sterile, but so it doesn't get dirty. But this is a windlass tourniquet. This is a soft T. So that's a windlass. This is an H&H TK4L tourniquet. This is a compression strap. And there's a metal S hook on one end and like a carabiner on the other, and you just pull it through. And then this is a Slishman pressure wrap. So Sam Slishman, again, Rescue Essentials. He's like an emergency room doctor. He developed this. He's like he works with Rescue Essentials, and I'm in this group called TAC Medical Solutions, and he sent this to us when we were first responders for us to test it. So I was in this test group for these. So
Dude.
I got a whole bunch of these, and it's super cool. So yeah, he sent us. He put like a whole bunch of firefighters and police officers. And he was like, "Hey, anybody wants to do this? Bring it to your department, test it out on each other, see what they say, and it stops blood flow. I mean, we didn't. Nobody was bleeding, but it will stop your
Yeah.
radial pulse. It'll stop your radial pulse. So, and somebody asked me how I knew that because I was like, "Oh, I put it on." And they were like, "Oh, you put it on?" I'm like, "Yeah, I put it on." Like seriously, it works. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of
That's
tourniquet stuff.
cool. Yeah, so basically you're going from a boo-boo kit to kinda stop the bleed stuff. That's kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the elevation of first aid kits.
yep.
I like it, I like it. So what you got, Rich? Do you have any myths you wanna debunk for us or information you think we should know?
Colloidal silver. People talk about drinking that like it's supposed to do something for you. Um, so it's silver in a liquid, and you're supposed to drink it, and it's magic, right? It makes you feel better. It doesn't. It's not good. It's not FDA approved. It's not like I'm saying the FDA is a no all be all, but it actually causes side effect. I forget. Starts with an A. I actually forget the name. Agria or something like that, where your skin turns a bluish gray color, and it's permanent. So
Wow.
that's one, and it'll also help you not absorb certain medications. So you'll become antibiotic resistant. It's
Dang.
not good. So if you get too much, it's like silver toxicity. So if this is shit that people used to drink mercury and they would die. Like, this is stuff from like the 1800s that somehow came back into our time now. And people are like, drink silver in water and you'll be fine. No, you'll turn blue. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You're gonna become a Smurf.
and it's weird. So that's like another. I don't know who started that, where that came from, but yeah, don't drink that crap. No. And if you have silver, like keep it. It's worth money. Like don't drink it. Like you know what I mean? Seriously. Check your pulse rate. Yes, there you go. Definitely.
Yes. Uh, yeah. It's,
Yeah.
I wonder if the silver
Oh
thing
man.
is the,
He's yeah. He said it
like
was
the Tide Pod thing.
he said it's a Facebook thing. Maybe his wife just asked him, but
Yeah.
that's been around for a long time. It's been in the prepper community. I think that like so I don't know, man. I think preppers go way, way, way outside the box when they don't have to, right? You can get OTC meds, or whatever. You can try to save extra pills. Don't take them like if you can. I mean, don't do that if you can't. But like, so take me for example. I take blood pressure meds, maintenance meds. For some reason, when I switched insurances, they refilled my meds, so I have a whole month's supply of one of my meds over
Nice.
because they refilled me. So try to like save stuff like that. I think people think that, oh my God, we're going to run out. So we got to invent things to do because it's going to be a shit at the fan situation, end of the world, zombie apocalypse. I got to drink silver. What? Like what? Probably from
Sure.
something, probably from some Middle Ages. Somebody read that somewhere, like Mercury or something. They read it, and that's how it came. It's crazy, but it's been around a long time. That and the tampon thing, and like, oh man, this. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more crazy. If you go on some prepper groups and just listen to what they're saying, and they're like, what? Like, don't do that. Like, you know what I mean?
People do whatever they hear. They hear something they don't know, and so they take it as fact.
Yeah, they follow. It's what the internet is. Absolutely. Like seriously.
My rule of thumb when it comes to first aid kit, being someone that it's not my field, my rule of thumb is if I get something and add it to my kit, I have to know how to use it.
Yeah,
If I
right.
don't know how to use it, it does not go in my kit.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's stop the bleed classes all over the place. People can take them. Sometimes
Yeah.
they're free at your fire department or sheriff's departments, and they're not much, like 15, $20. Like it's not. And then you're certified forever. You don't have to get recert on that. And then whatever. I mean, I was a first responder, so I was EMR, right, emergency medical responder, and I still am. So you become a stop and the bleed instructor by reciprocity because you're already a first responder. You know what I mean? Because you already have to you
Yeah,
have to take BCon. So you BCon is bleeding control. So once you take bleeding control, advanced first aid, then you can become one as long as you were. There's a list of what you can be, right? They actually just made it so nurses could do it, which is ridiculous. They should have been able to do it forever. Like, you know what I mean? So um, it's not expensive and sometimes it's free. So and you take first aid classes for very little. Um, I don't know. I teach first aid. I don't charge that much. Some people do, but it's literally like $50 a class. I'd rather, like I said, have people do it and learn the knowledge and make money on it. So
definitely. No, be prepared, be ready to help yourself or help someone else in a life-threatening situation. It's not hard, doesn't cost a ton of money, and it's a peace of mind.
yeah, and then you're prepared. So that's one of the things that somebody said to me, that when events happen that are like emergency situations, I don't freak out. Like other people freak out. Like I've had nurses tell me that they freaked out, they get shaky. I don't have any of that stuff because I just see what's going on. Like it's like time slows down. It's weird. But my wife said to me, she said it's because you know what you're doing and you're not being reactive. You already know. And I'm like,
Yeah.
exactly right. So a lot of nurses, which this is why I don't want to be an RN anymore because a lot of nurses go into their field of nursing, like pediatrics or ICU or emergency. Emergency nurses are different; they're a whole different breed. But like, they just do a certain thing, eye doctors, whatever, and they're not like into the trauma because that's not what they do.
Yeah,
Even though they're a nurse, you think they would, they don't. But
that's
ER
not their
nurses,
jam, yeah.
ED nurses do it though. They get their shit on. So it's just like I was gonna do it, and then I'm like, then I would be in I can't do that. I was like, I'm just gonna go back.
You
I'm
need
just gonna
more
go back into.
fun.
I'm gonna go back into EMS and do that. So yeah, when I was at camp.
Evan, what's up?
Oh, Evan, where's Evan? Oh, there he is.
Yes.
Count first responders are minutes away. Yes, they are. And if you're rural, like you live in a small town, sometimes it can take up to 15 minutes, right? So this is what the Stop the Bleed class was about. It came about because of Sandy Hook. A lot of people on hand at Sandy Hook couldn't do anything. They didn't know how to do anything, so people died. And they could have done small things that could have stopped bleeding, right? And maybe saved lives. And it takes about 15 minutes for first responders to arrive in a perfect situation. If it's snowing or if like there's something that happened, like say there's an earthquake and the roads are damaged, it could take forever. Like, you know what I mean? So if you can stop somebody from bleeding for that 3 minutes, like, because the average, it can take somebody, you can bleed out in like less than in a minute. You can, if you have an arterial bleed. So if you can keep somebody from bleeding to death till they arrive, then you're good. You know what I mean? After that, it's out of your hands. But at
Yeah.
least you can do that. You know what I mean? And there's the oh man, what is it? The you don't get in trouble. Good Samaritan law.
Yeah, the Good
So you know what I
Samaritan
mean?
law.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not like you're going to get in trouble for trying to help somebody. I mean, whatever. I mean, you do CPR on somebody. Good Samaritan law is great because you break ribs. Ribs break. It happens. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You're doing CPR. I'd rather have a couple broken ribs than friggin' be dead.
and be
So,
dead.
right.
Yeah.
So
Now, when I had my, first aid course, I think I'm actually due this summer, but when I had it the last time, one of the people in the course was former, she was a call person for, like, the emergency
oh yeah,
department,
yeah.
and, she said one day we had a guy come in, and he was like, kinda holding his side, and he came in and he said, "It hurts every time I laugh. And every time I laugh, I smile because I'm alive." And one of the dudes in there was the EMS guy who gave him CPR and kept him alive.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
said, "Every freaking time I breathe, it hurts and it makes me laugh. And then
Yeah,
it
yeah.
hurts more." It's like
Yeah, it's
pain is good. It means you're alive.
right. Like you can just help somebody within that little bit of time frame. You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of people don't want to, but whatever. If you can, you can. Um,
Yeah.
so
Evan is a first responder. I
yeah, he's
believe
a
he is a
Leo.
police officer.
Yep.
Yes.
So
Ah,
yeah, it's cool to just learn
he
that
probably
stuff.
has a lot of knowledge.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can learn a lot in a little bit of time. And the Stop the Bleed class is like an hour and a half long. That's it. It's not
Yeah.
even that long. So it's not like you got
No.
to go to college for it. Seriously.
And it's one and done. One
Yeah,
and
that's it.
done.
Right. You get a certificate. That's it. You're good to go.
I like it. I like
You
it.
can't tell the
So
push.
he's working on it.
Yeah,
Evan
yeah,
Evan's
right, right.
working on
Oh yeah.
it. So anything else you wanna add to this, first aid myth?
I don't
episode?
know. I'm sure there's a million myths out there that I don't even
So many.
know about. That I don't even know about. Like, who knows, man? I'm sure there's a lot of medication myths. Um, uh, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. There's just I don't even pay mind to half of this stuff. I just like as far as it goes into prepping, like just prep stuff you know about. You know, if you don't know about it, try to get classes on it. Um, I don't know. Don't go to college. It's a waste of money. Yeah, like just try to learn as much as you can. First aid classes aren't a lot. Supplement classes aren't a lot. CERT classes are free usually. I teach CERT, and that's preparedness though. But there's also disaster response, disaster medical, and CERT. So you're learning first aid FEMA, and from FEMA, and that's an advanced first aid class too. So that's pretty cool.
That's
It's
awesome.
in the book. Even if you just ask for a CERT book, it's all free. You go on like the CERT website, and they'll send you that stuff. At least they used to. I have a whole bunch of it actually. When I come, when shit hit the fan, she carried my nunchucks. Yeah,
What's up,
nunchucks are awesome.
native?
Native Wild Man. Hey, what's up, honey? What's up, homie? 35 years. Yeah, he's been driving around for 35 years.
That's insane. That's awesome. Um,
Yeah.
I was gonna bring up something. Yeah, knowledge. Knowledge is the best thing you can do. Like, equipment is great, but knowing how to use it is invaluable.
Oh, yeah. Like, if you don't know how to do something, you shouldn't do it. Like, seriously. Like,
Yeah,
don't stitch people up.
100%.
Don't, like, I don't know, just don't do it. Like that. I mean, it's funny that people do though. Like, you know what I mean? Like people tell people other stuff and they don't really know what they're talking about. It's crazy. They do it all the time on social media. It's sketchy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It
That's what's so
is.
scary about it because you have like I just did that video about preppers. You have all these people telling you to do this stuff and they're doing it to make money. They're not even accurate with what they're talking about.
I don't care.
It's insane. Like, you know what I'm saying? They just want you to spend money because the people that they're selling, they're getting the stuff from say, hey, if you sell this shovel, you'll get some money and you'll get 10% commission and you'll get a free shovel. And then they buy it and the freaking thing's a piece of crap and you don't need it, whatever.
Yeah. No,
That's another thing.
it's
Buy what you need to. Like if you buy
yes.
some, if you buy something like Stop the Bleed kit, right? Stop the Bleed kits are made by the government, by the Department of Defense. That's who does Stop the Bleed. That kit is going to cost you like 175, $200 because it's from the government. The government don't give a shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if you can make that yourself, you're going to pay like way less than that. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
I did it one time and I figured out it was like $100 less. You can make like even less than that.
Daggum.
Sometimes even less than that. So buying those pre-made kits, yeah, they're convenient, but they cost way too much. They give you stuff you don't need and stuff that you might not want to use. So, make your
Yeah.
own. Like, seriously, put it together,
Build your
whatever.
own kits.
Like, you can go to different, like, Rescue Essentials is one. You can even go on eBay and buy so much stuff on eBay. Like, there's a whole bunch of different companies selling medical stuff on eBay. So you could get, like, compression. I got a whole bunch of Israeli pressure bandages on there. Actually, I did. I got a whole bunch of them. And like
That's awesome.
when I was in the fire department, I bought them for the fire department. I put them in the fire department. So Amazon. I mean, you buy stuff on Amazon. I got hemostatic gauze I gave to the nurse's office at school. Now they got it there. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just you be prepared and prepare yourself, and now you can prepare others once you know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you can.
Agreed.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I like it. I like it. Be prepared. Be ready to help someone and help yourself. And we will leave the chat open. So if you're watching this later or you think of a question, comment. And if Rich doesn't see it, I'll tag him in it and make sure he
Yeah.
gets back to you. But yeah, we'll leave the chat open. Use this as kind of a learning experience. And we'll be back next week with an unknown topic. Rich and I will
Yeah.
have to talk this week and figure out what we'll do. But I think this was a lot of fun. We
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
have a lot of interactions, so we'll see what we can do next week. That'll be awesome and exciting. And if you have an idea, let us know.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
yeah, have a good week, guys. We will be back next week. You want to say anything, Rich?
No, just have a good week. Tomorrow's Monday. Mondays suck. Maybe
Monday
they don't have
suck.
to though. They don't have to though.
Awesome. See you later,
See you
guys.
later. Have a good one.